Okay, let's do a specific tutorial for the problems on page 4 from day 3, where we're converting degrees to radians and radians to degrees. Okay, the first thing I'd like to do is when I see negative 315, let's see if we can sketch where we think that might be. Okay, negative 315. So we know we start at 0, the horizon. We go around negative 90, negative 180, negative 270. It's going to be in this area right here. Let's see if we can come up with an answer that is somewhere in quadrant 1 based on negative 315 degrees. Let's convert to radians. In order to do that, divide out the degrees, leaving the pi for radians. So degree divided by degree goes away. Negative 315 pi over 180. That's a correct answer. But I'd like you to push yourself and see if we can simplify. After you've done some of these, there's certain things you just recognize after a while. First of all, we have multiples of 5. Okay? So negative 315 is negative 5 times 63 times pi divided by 5 times 36. Well, I see the 5s are common to both. 5 divided by 5 is 1, leaving us with negative 63 pi over 36. And a common multiple of 63 and 36 is 9. Negative 9 times 7 times pi divided by 9 times 4. Again, the 9s are common. 9 divided by 9 is 1, leaving us with an answer of negative 7 pi over 4. Let's go back to our unit circle and see if we recognize that. Now, the last couple of days, just before the school got closed, we actually tried to count around the circle in fourths. Negative 1 pi over 4, negative 2 pi over 4, negative 3 pi over 4, negative 4 pi over 4, negative 5 pi over 4, negative 6 pi over 4. There it is, negative 7 pi over 4. We did it. Let's try the next one, 210 degrees. Again, let's draw our unit circle. We know we're starting here. We know counterclockwise is positive, so positive 90, positive 180, and another 30 degrees. Okay, so our final answer has got to be in this area. Let's convert 210 degrees to radians. In order to do that, we multiply by radians and divide by degrees. Degree divided by degree goes away, leaving us with 210 pi over 180. Again, multiples of 10, so we can cancel 10 divided by 10, leaving us with 21 pi over 18. Studying 21 and 18, multiples, common multiples, 3. Yeah, 3 times 7 pi, 3 times 6. 3 divided by 3 is 1, leaving 7 6 over pi. 7 pi over 6. Now remember, we were counting by 30s in class. 30 degree, 60 degree, 90 degree, 120, 150, 180, 210. Now let's go back and count by sixths. Pi over 6, 2 pi over 6, 3 pi over 6, 4 pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, 6 pi over 6, 7 pi over 6. We did it. Remember, all we're doing is converting from degrees, which is what we grew up understanding, and going into radians, a unit of measure that the calculator likes to work in. Okay, we're just converting from one to another. Let's go down and try a couple on the bottom where we're converting from radians to degrees. Now, in order to do that, we got to multiply by degrees and divide by the radians. Now, before we start, let's see if we can locate where this might be. Start at 0, and it's going in the negative direction, so that's going to be clockwise. Now, 18 over 18. This is negative pi, so that'd be negative 18 over 18 pi. If we went all the way around, negative 18 would leave us with 11 pi more. So there'd be 9 more pi. Somewhere in this area, maybe. Back to quadrant 1. Let's see if we get an answer in quadrant 1 here. Okay. So again, we're going to multiply by degrees, divide by the radians. So the pi's go away, leaving us with negative 29 times 180 degrees, all divided by 18. Now, before we multiply that and get a big, huge number, how many 18s go into 180? Let's simplify that right here. We know there's 10 18s divided by 18. So 18 divided by 18 goes away, leaving us with negative 29 times 10, which is negative 290 degrees. I think we did it. Negative 180, negative 270, negative 290. We did it. Let's do one more. 3 pi over 4. Well, we actually did this in class just before school got closed. 1 pi over 4, 2 pi over 4, 3 pi over 4. It's going to be in this area right here. Okay? And we remember pi over 4 is 45, 90, 135. I'll bet you we get 135 here. Again, we're going to multiply by degrees, dividing out the radians, leaving us with 3 times 180 divided by 4. Again, after you do a bunch of these, you'll recognize that 180 is nothing more than 3 times 4 times 45 divided by 4. 4 divided by 4 is 1, leaving us with 3 times 45, which is 135. We did it. 135 degrees. So hopefully that was helpful on the back side of day 3, page 4, converting degrees to radians. We'll see you tomorrow for day 4, where we're talking about segments, area of a segment in a circle. See you soon.